Critical race theory hijacking last night's CMS board meeting, which was supposed to cover Camp CMS and other matters.
Many parents and teachers voicing their opinions about what they think should be taught in their child's classroom. Fox 46's Annie Satowski joins us live to break down what critical race theory is at its core. Annie.
Yeah, guys, critical race theory really taking center stage here last night at the Government Center for that Board of Education meeting. And a lot of different states are thinking about adding critical race theory to their curriculums, while others are actively working to ban it. I spoke with two local attorneys today who say at its core, critical race theory isn't meant to be divisive.
You are not stopping racism, you are creating it. You're creating hatred and division.
A heated discussion at Tuesday night's CMS Board of Education meeting. Critical race theory and its place in the classroom dominating the discussion.
The most significant thing I've learned is the power of culturally responsive teaching, not to be confused with the current hysteria regarding critical race theory.
CMS coming under fire for reportedly paying $25,000 for a virtual keynote address back in June for their staff from a top critical race theory author. That same author's work on the CMS summer reading list. Local attorneys say at its core, critical race theory is simple.
And it's not an attack on culture, it's not an attack on identity. It's more of looking at various systems that are in place and asking the question, is this particular system of lending, is this particular system of housing, is the way that we educate our students, is that fair to everyone?
Walter Bowers, managing partner at Wooden Bowers Vinson, says CRT opens the door to talk about specific laws that used to be in place, especially when it comes to housing.
It is certainly well known that throughout history, there was a time where deeds had certain clauses that would prohibit African Americans from living in certain parts of various cities. It wasn't until 1968 that became illegal.
Attorney at the Rhodes firm, Khalif Rhodes, says taking that kind of holistic look back in history is what CRT is all about.
No one likes to look back at who they used to be. And so what they're asking is for a country to look back at what they used to be. And how that past has now had an influence, a direct influence on our current present situation.
Rhodes points out critical race theory isn't new. It's been studied for decades, not always taught on its own, but rather woven into law school classes and higher education.
You have these folks that are some of the most educated people on the planet, from Columbia and Harvard and Yale and Stanford, that have been doing this since the 70s and have been talking about critical race theory. And in the 80s, it kind of got more momentum. In the 90s, it even got more momentum.
And while the idea is gaining more momentum, CMS released a statement saying they do not directly promote a doctrine of critical race theory. Going on to say, our district does, however, actively support learning and professional development for our staff to recognize the shortcomings of systems that have long contributed to inequities that have led to disproportionate outcomes for students of various backgrounds. And there is a special session of a CMS board meeting happening as we speak. They are expected to talk about, in part, that newly approved budget, as well as taking a deeper dive into better student outcomes and improving those. Our Derek Dellinger will be in there live for you and have updates for you in our later evening newscasts. Live in Uptown, Annie Satowski, Fox 46.